Hey guys, Brandon here. This is the White's tree frog palidarium. So, some people asked for an update on it. It's been quite a while since I made a full in-depth video on it, so that's what we're going to do today. First thing though, it's looking a little bit messy up front. There's some algae growing on the glass and the water's a little murky, so we're going to clean that up. Alright, so glass, water, that's all cleaned up. Did a good water change on there, probably about 50%. I think it all looks good from here. Algae, as good as I can get it. I'm not going to spend all year cleaning it all up. That still has to clear out. It'll be probably quite a while till it clears up, but I can still explain stuff. So now we're going to clean up all this plant growth up here. Hey, what are you doing? So this pothos that's been growing in here and is like completely rooted in underwater. It's harder to see because of the cloudy water, but all that is a thick growth of roots that the Serpae tetras love hiding in. And I'm just going to leave that there for now. Partially because it supports this huge plant that I actually might just do a little bit of trimming over here, and then at some point I'm going to see if I can kind of guide it growing all the way up there, and hopefully it can go all the way around the room. The pothos in Mike's tank has also been doing pretty well. Hopefully we can get a huge wall all back here growing around the turtle crossing sign and the peace lily. That would look so nice. For some of the chopped up leaves, I think I'm gonna throw them down here and see if they'll degrade back into the soil where all the springtails and isopods are going to eat them back up and get forced back into the system. So I also plugged the waterfall back in from the water change. So for filtration, there's two things. There's a sponge filter, which is located underneath the little structure here, and the pump, which circulates water, pulls it all the way back and then sends it down here where a little bit comes off, waters this area, and comes back in, and it keeps on circulating, so it filters the entire setup. So we got two frogs in here. Both are White's tree frogs, pretty chill dudes. Come to think, I don't really know if they're boys or girls. I think there's just a couple months left before I can do that. They're pretty healthy. They look a little bit skinny right now. That's just because I have to feed them. Got the other one right there. Pretty happy frogs, healthy as well. I feed them crickets, which I'll be doing in a couple minutes, and they really get along with the fish down here. I have seen them jumping at them a couple times. There's just a couple Serpae tetras down here. I might get some new fish at some point. I'm not 100% sure. I'm happy with them right now. I have seen them jumping at them, trying to eat them. They may have eaten one or two. They could definitely fit an entire one in their mouth. But most of the time they just spend the day hopping around and bothering each other. So, just to let you guys know, neither of these frogs have names at the moment, just because I can't really tell them apart. They both look very similar. Hold on, that one fell. Maybe one day I'll name them, if I can ever tell them apart. But for now, they're just the tree frogs, that's what I call them. I feed these guys pretty much the same thing that I did when I first got them, just a lot more of it. They eat mealworms, crickets, give them some earthworms on occasion. There's also some isopods and which are pretty much roly-polies, and some other stuff that live in this tank as well, which break down the frog waste, as well as we'll give these tree frogs the occasional snack. These guys are big enough to eat the roly-polies. The isopods are they're big enough to eat the isopods, or the roly-polies as some people call them. The springtails, however, are very small, like the size of a dot that you could make with a pencil, so I doubt they really even notice them, but they do break down a lot of poop in this tank, as well as mold, things that are decaying, so I always like to have them here. White's tree frogs are from Australia. Some people call them Australian tree frogs. They're pretty similar to the North American ones that I have here. I live in the United States. But these guys are much bigger and will eat a lot more. They both croak a lot as well, and I do have lots of the American ones in my backyard as well. My favorite thing about these guys, though, is they have these little pink fingers and toes, which I love. Since they're older now, they will make croaking sounds, which really aren't too loud, and it's usually early in the morning or later at night, maybe 6 in the morning to 9 o'clock, which is usually when I'm going to bed or waking up, which it really isn't that big of a deal. It's not like it'll wake me up in the middle of the night. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully we can see you guys all in the next one. If you really enjoyed, please subscribe, and see you later.